Hello class. Welcome to another lesson here on YouTube. Today we are looking at phrasal verbs, and as you voted on Instagram, we are looking at phrasal verbs that we use when we're talking about communication. So we're looking at communication for these next series of phrasal verbs we will be looking at. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified whenever we post new videos, and let's get started. So let's see here. Our first phrasal verb is fess up. To fess up means to confess or admit that someone has done something wrong or incorrect. Yeah, when you fess up, you confess. Essentially, this is what you do when you fess up. So for example, they fessed up about having ice cream for dinner, before dinner, yeah? Or he fessed up to the authorities that he cooperated by giving confidential intel. So notice that fess is a regular verb. In this case, we're looking at an example in the simple past, and it indicates us that this verb is regular, yeah, that we add an ed, so it's a regular verb. Let's continue. And this one's pretty funny. To butt in. So to butt in has two contexts, usually similar, yeah? The first one is to interrupt or meddle in a conversation you are not included in. So usually, this is very important. You're not included in the conversation. You're butting in, yeah? So that is where the phrase comes in, yeah? So to butt in means that you are not included and you include yourself in a conversation or a situation that you're not included in, yeah? You're not considered part of that group. So for example, they would all butt in our conversation, so I don't really know what happened. In this example, we have several people who are interrupting and including themselves in a conversation that they are not included in. So this person is indicating, yeah, that they weren't able to have or to continue the conversation with the other person because several people were inserting themselves in the conversation, yeah. Next one, we have to interfere or intrude into an activity. So in number one, we're looking at a conversation. In number two, we're looking at activity. So in specific moments or events, yeah. For example, he butt in the party without an invitation. Yeah, this one's very straightforward. He butt in the party without an invitation. That means he joined the party without being invited. Yeah, good. So let's continue and let's look at this in the next one. We have tell someone off. When you tell someone off, meaning in this parentheses, we're usually inserting an object pronoun. That means him, her, them, etc. Yeah. So usually when you're using this phrase to tell off, you are inserting in the middle an object pronoun. We had this as a question in one of our previous videos. So this is one of those phrasal verbs that I'm adding this parentheses so that we look at, yeah. So to tell someone off is to reprimand or scold someone, yeah, como regañar a alguien, yeah. For example, the woman told them off as she walked away. So in this context, the context is ambiguous, but essentially it's saying that the woman is walking away and telling a group of people, telling them off, yeah. So them in this case would be the group of people. And next one, the students were upset and told off those responsible for the grade malfunction. Yeah, so the students got together They were upset, they were frustrated, they were angry, and they told off, they spoke against those people who were responsible for the grade malfunction. So sometimes it's to reprimand or scold, and sometimes it's to tell that person what was wrong, yeah, to indicate what was incorrect, to show your rejection, to show your feelings about a particular situation, to tell that person off. A veces es regañar, como también a veces es simplemente mostrar el desacuerdo como una acción que alguien haya hecho. Entonces aprovechas de decirle esas cosas, usualmente to tell off se utiliza cuando es momentos o una situación que no es agradable para nadie, ¿no? Entonces esa persona o la persona que está hablando would tell off the group or that person, yeah? Entonces es como decirle a esa persona las cosas negativas de las consecuencias, etcétera, de lo que haya pasado. To tell off. Next one, we have to cut someone off, to cut off. So someone in parentheses, because like we saw in our previous phrasal verb, the object pronoun would be here, yeah? To cut him off, her or them, etc. Yeah. So we use cut someone off. It means or significa to interrupt someone who is speaking. For example, the music cut her off from finishing her Oscar speech. So usually when we watch award shows, there's that music, you know, the instrumental music that indicates the end of a speech, yeah, the end, el final de un discurso. Usualmente en estos programas de premios, la música indica que es el momento se acabó. Entonces, the music cut her off, yeah, interrupted her from continuing the speech. Let's look at number 2. The manager cut Mark off to conclude the presentation his way. So the manager interrupted Mark, yeah, to conclude, yeah. So he interrupted. I interrupt you so that I can continue speaking, yeah. So that's how we use cut off, yeah. Let's continue and let's look at call someone out, yeah. When you call someone out, we have the parentheses for the same reason. The object pronoun would normally go here if we use it. And when we call someone off, we direct attention to someone's actions or words, usually in criticism. It's usually in criticism. So for example, he called him out for taking credit for his idea during the meeting. Yeah, I am calling you out. That means, hey, Mark, you took my idea. He called him out, yeah? That means to indicate something, to direct attention, usually in criticism about an incorrect action. Number 2, she called out the administration for being negligent towards solving the community issue. So in this case, we use it in the context of politics. When we call out an organization, when we call out government, yeah, we are usually giving some type of criticism about either actions or words, yeah. All right, class, so that is it for our lesson today. We looked at 5 phrasal verbs on communication. We will continue doing this next week. We will look at another group of 5 phrasal verbs we use when we are in the theme of communication. See you then. See you next time. Bye.